This relationship, we've been with her for years now, and then like I was on this stage where I just felt like the grass was greener, man. I just felt the grass was greener. I didn't go chop nothing, but I was like, I felt like I was falling out of love. I was taking this whole thing for granted, yeah. I had a conversation with her, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm just don't know if I could do this, whatever. And then I'm like, oh my God, if you saw how upset she was, yeah. So then anyway, now we're going through that. I'm handling her emotions and whatever. And then like I stopped hearing from her for a little bit. Then all of a sudden I started thinking, nah, do you know what? Nah. I love her, you know. I need her back. She's gone on holiday. So anyway, when she's come back now, like I've sat down with her and I just told her, nah, I feel like I made a mistake. Boom, 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 boom. So we've got back together now. But now, like I've kicked into a different gear into this relationship now. Because I'm like, I'm really in and I'm really invested. I thought that I didn't want to be with her, but now I really do.
Yeah.
That little time apart made me really, really want to be around her. So, you know, we were like, everything was fine. And I thought everything was just sick. And then literally, she rings me and we're talking on the phone and she's like, you know what? I don't even think I want to be in this anymore. And I was like, why? And her thing was like, when we were together, I felt like I couldn't live without you. But when you broke up with me, you made me realize I could live without you. And I just don't think that this is the right thing for me. I left the office, yeah, and I'm like trying to reason with her, innit? Because you get what I'm saying?
Man, go to the car. Man was walking up and down.
I knew
it was one or the other. You know, you have to picture it. I have to picture the scene.
Obviously, I'm thinking that I can get this back, but you know, like I knew she was serious from the fact that she just didn't cry.
Yeah.
She wasn't she weren't showing. This was a different side.
When they get cold on you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't mean to quote my man, because obviously it's a bit mad, but when R. Kelly said, when a woman's fed up, there is nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
There was nothing I could have said or done that was going to change the dynamic of that.
Yeah.
And so now it was getting used to like, this girl, I speak to her every day, bare times, all the time, whatever. And now I had to get used to like, we're talking all the time, but it was just getting it just wasn't.
Right.
Yeah. And then I remember one time I hadn't seen her for like, 6 months or whatever. Then when I've seen her, she had a love bite on her neck.
Now, when I heard that story, it really pissed me off because I was like, here is a perfect example of a man that only cares about his needs and his wants and his desires. He had no care or no love for his partner other than how she made him feel. And what's crazy is that there are a lot of men that spew this BS that, oh, men love so hard and all they need is a good woman by their side and they won't want for anything else, which is why you should be a submissive doormat for their needs. Men are the only ones who love unconditionally, etc., etc., etc. But as you can see from this story, that just isn't the case. And, you know, really, in my opinion, listening to this man speak, I think the only reason why he even wanted her back and wanted to try to make things work was because he felt that she was slipping away, because he says that when he stopped hearing from her and she went on holiday, that's when he started thinking, nah, he really wanted it to work. And that is his ego talking, not love. And that's what I want you guys to understand, because he was just in a state of, oh, I want you to sit on the shelf until I decide to play with you. And if I don't decide to play with you, I just want to know that nobody else will be able to play with you either. Now, I feel like any woman should be able to have the self-respect to know that if a man breaks up with you out of nowhere, you're not doing anything wrong, y'all aren't getting into it, you've treated him fine, but he just decides that the grass may possibly be greener, and so he decides to destroy you emotionally. That's a dangerous man. That's an unreliable man. That is a man that you cannot and should not ever trust with your heart. But then in the story, this woman took this man back. Now, call me optimistic, okay? But what I really hope is that her taking him back and then telling him that, you know, she thought that she couldn't live without him, but then when he broke up with her, that she realized that she could and she didn't want him anymore. I really hope that her taking him back, she only took him back to destroy his ego. it was all part of an elaborate plot. That's what I hope. I hope that she never intended on being with him. It was just a scheme. That her whole intention was to hurt him the way he had hurt her. Truly diabolical. At least that's what I hope. Especially like when she came around or when he saw her with the love bite, because I know his stomach dropped. And I really hope that this, like I said, it was a whole part of an elaborate plot, because if she just took this man back on his strength, I just don't even understand why she would do that. And you know what else? What else here is that the man that he was speaking to didn't even challenge any of the things that he said. Like, that wasn't right. That's toxic. That's not healthy. This, that. He didn't even really challenge anything that he was saying. And this is the reason why men are often able to just continue bad behavior over and over and over again, and hurting women and harming women and leaving women with this baggage that they say that women shouldn't have, is because men very rarely check men on bad behavior. They just laugh at it and be like, ha, 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 oh yeah, you're the man, because they know deep down inside they're not going to be the victim of this, because they're talking to another man. But it's really disgusting, because I wish that more men would know, the more men that you don't challenge on bad behavior like this, they may raise sons, and those sons may come in contact with your daughters, or female family members that you care for. What are you doing? All you're going to do is poison the dating pool or the relationship pool with these inadequate men. And the only way they can learn to not be that way, because men don't usually listen to women, is for men that have the good sense, which isn't that many of them, but to challenge these ideologies. But anyway, I'm just going to say this. I think that this story, the reason why I wanted to show it to y'all is because I think it's a perfect example of a man. He will not always tell you his intentions, but his actions will definitely speak for him. Because if you notice in the video that this man said that he had been with this woman for years, and I've said this a million times, a man that stays with a woman for years without marriage definitely is waiting for something better to come along. Is period. I don't debate with your mama. He's waiting for something better to come along. Now, he may not be able to find it, but that is his intention when he stays with you for years and years and years and doesn't make you his wife. He's purposely keeping his options open. And, he does that, but he still wants the girlfriend/wife experience with no commitment while he's waiting for his real queen. So, yeah, he's going to do the barest of the bare minimum to keep you there. But his options are still open. Please believe that. There are so many women that get caught up in the placeholder position. And, I've noticed that anytime I mention marriage, even a mere thought or me mentioning marriage, is always women that come out of the shadows. And they'll say like, marriage is nothing. Marriage is no protection. Married men, they cheat. They'll do you dirty. Okay, cool. I'm not going to debate that there aren't married men out here who are trifling, because there are, and I would be lying to y'all. Absolutely, there are married men that cheat, that are trifling, that do women dirty. Absolutely. However, there are men that do not do that. And that's something that I don't find that's ever acknowledged. But also, this is even a more important point than that. If you think that marriage is not where it's at, and you think that married men cheat and they do their wives dirty, and these men have went through the whole thing of melding finances, melding families, signing paperwork to where the woman does have some degree of protection if the man just does her super dirty. Well, if you think that those men, are cheating and et cetera, then what do you think a boyfriend or a friend with benefits is going to do to you? What do you think his behavior is? Because he knows that y'all have zero commitment to each other. And he doesn't even have to hide that y'all have zero commitment to each other. Now, he may tell you, oh, I'm your man, this and that and the third. But trust me, deep down inside, this man knows that he doesn't owe you anything. So what do you think that he's going to move like if he's with you for years and years and years and years? Like, It just doesn't make any sense. Like I don't understand the rationale behind that, because yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So I feel like this: if you feel that way, then you should be against both sides. You should be against the married side. You should be against the boyfriend, girlfriend side as well. But let me just say this also. I just know that this everything that I'm saying right here ties into another video that I saw that had me very irritated. Y'all check this out.
When it comes to marriage, I lightweight get tired of reading the whole a man should know exactly what he wants to do in a 2-year span. And 3 years is a hard max for me. And if he doesn't have a ring on my finger in 3 years, then I'm out of there. Then be out of there. But y'all got to stop trying to put that pressure on men, and y'all got to stop trying to put that pressure on other women. It is perfectly okay to take your time. I don't know who told y'all that marriage was a race. I don't know who told y'all that that is something that you got to hurry up and get into. Do y'all not realize that marriage is the end? Marriage is not the start. It is the finish line. And you have to understand that. So there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with somebody taking their time to make sure you are who they want to be in their life for their whole life. You mean to tell me in a 2-year span, y'all think that's the person that you want to be with for 50 years, 40 years, 30 years? What? Saying a man should know within the first 6 months.
Respectfully, this is a goofy take. Seriously. And I really don't care who agrees or doesn't agree with me, because I know it's going to be a lot of women that don't agree with me in the comments. But in my opinion, all this does is open Black women up to be taken advantage of. Because first of all, I'm not listening, and you shouldn't listen to a woman who is not married tell women about what getting married means, or how women who are looking for marriage should handle their relationships in the event that they actually do get married. Why would you listen to her? She hasn't achieved whatever it is that she's speaking about. So why would her advice be something you would want to listen to? Because you want to listen to her on how not to be married? Then cool, go ahead and listen, because that's what it is. So clearly she's ignorant on what exactly the conversation is, because marriage is not the finish line. At least a healthy marriage is not the finish line. Marriage is the beginning of finding who you are truly meant to be with, and y'all starting that life together. So, and then if you use her logic of you don't know someone in 2 years or 3 years, you don't know them enough to know if you want to be married to them for 30 years, then where do you draw the line? Do you just stay together for 10 years, 15 years, hoping that eventually you know them enough to make a lifelong commitment while already having a lifelong commitment without just the paperwork? That's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. And I really want women to understand something. Men are territorial. And I know a lot of women don't want to hear that, but they are. So if a man loves you and truly values you, he's going to want to marry you and commit to you to make sure, if for anything, that you are unavailable for another possible suitor or another man that may be interested in you. So please don't listen to women like this, because men absolutely do know if they are taking a woman seriously and if they want to marry her very early on. And men that don't know that, I promise you, the only reason why they're doing it is just like the man in the earlier video, is because they're holding out for a better option than you. And you are once again in the placeholder position. Because I can't tell you how many married men that I have talked to personally, or they have told their stories online where they talk about knowing either immediately or very early on that they were going to make that particular woman their wife. There's absolutely something wrong with the man taking his time in committing to you. Because let's say this, are y'all having intercourse? Are you treating him like he's your husband? Are you only engaging with him? Are you faithful to him? Does he have complete access to you? Are y'all basically living as husband and wife? And in most cases, the answer is yes. Now, even though I don't believe that women should give men wife treatment while being girlfriends, I don't. But I have to be realistic here and realize that that is usually what is happening. So why wouldn't you know as a man if you want this woman as a wife when essentially most women are already in that role? So you want her to be in that role with no security, no anything, just spending her time in her youth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years while you figure it out? Yeah, sounds like you're a user to me. Sounds like you're taking advantage of that woman and wasting her precious time. And time is the one thing that we cannot get back. So please hear me. Do not listen to women like this. Honestly. And, if you see a man in the first video, like him playing games, breaking up with you, trying to bring you back when he sees that you're doing your thing, or you seem to be flourishing without him, get rid of him ASAP. Do not have any further contact. But anyway, I don't even know. This is probably even controversial, okay? Because like I said, it's like so many times when I say things about like marriage or relationships, people get so touchy because I think what happens is that all the bad experiences come to the forefront instead of sometimes positivity. But I'm just saying, if you are interested still in men, dating, marriage, relationships, whatever, and I understand that there are a lot of women that are not, which I understand both sides. I really, truly do. But if you are interested, don't listen to women like this for real, because she's going to get you played with on some real. And do not ever entertain men, for the love of God, like this guy in the beginning. Don't do it. But I digress. If you guys want more information on like relationships and stuff like that, let me know, because I don't know exactly what you guys, I just kind of throw things on here that pop into my head, or if I see a video that triggers me to say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll make a video about that. But if you have specific things that y'all want me to talk about, please just go ahead and send me an email to unpopularopinionsblkwmn@gmail.com. And I already have a few people that sent me some things, and please bear with me. I'm going to get to them. I'm going to check out the videos. And then sometimes, people send me things and I don't know exactly what type of video to make for it. So sometimes I might not make it as quickly as I normally would if it was something that instantly triggered me to know exactly what to say. So don't think I'm ignoring you if I haven't made a video about something you sent me yet. I eventually will get to it when an idea pops into my head. But seriously, this time, for real, I digress for real. Please drop a 2 in the comments, because you already know why. Because this whole, everybody that was in this video, boo, don't respect it, don't agree with the ideology or the behavior, none of it. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that's no problem at all. Just do your girl a free favor. Follow me on TikTok while it's still here. I do live stream there exclusively. Also, follow me on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my new uploads. And as always, ladies, I love to hear from y'all. Good, bad, ugly. You can agree. You can disagree. Because somebody said in the comments like, hey, you seem like the type of person that wouldn't listen to me or wouldn't care if I had a differing opinion, or you'd be mad at me. Look, everybody in this world has opinions. Every single solitary person on this earth has an opinion, and we are not going to agree on every single thing. Even me, I ain't nobody. I'm just a lady online. So you may not agree with everything that I say. You may agree with some of the things you may not agree with. So the things you agree with, cool. The things you don't agree with, cool. The only problem that I ever have is when people put their opinions in and, it's either disrespectful to me, or it's something that I feel like is disrespectful to Black women as a whole, or is disrespectful to probably like Black American people. But other than that, I don't care what y'all think. Y'all don't have to agree with me. I'm not an egomaniac, so I just want that to be clear. Y'all can drop out wherever you feel down below, just as long as everything is respectful, So I just wanted to say that. So I wish that people would, because sometimes I feel like, is it that I'm too outspoken? Is it that I sound aggressive while I'm speaking? Because you can say how you feel. I'm not going to be like, anyway, for people that understand, hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. But anyway, please drop your feelings, thoughts, comments, emotions, opinions, whatever you want. Drop it down below, sis. It's all welcomed.